Amazon just put the entire healthcare industry on notice with its latest push into pharmacy. Here's who stands to win or lose. Through Amazon Pharmacy, customers can shop for drugs and get them shipped in the mail. Prime members can also receive discounts on the medication. It's part of Amazon's slow but steady entry into the U.S. healthcare system. Some healthcare companies, like drug wholesalers, stand to benefit as Amazon pushes deeper into healthcare, while businesses like retail pharmacies stand to lose out as more prescriptions go online. CVS, Walgreens, especially smaller Rite Aid, took hits to their stocks on Tuesday, while the Prime savings could very well drive some incredible volume to their shops. Recall that the Prime discounts work in the brick-and-mortar pharmacies too. The service puts Amazon in direct competition with pharmacies that's online business has already been hurt. What are your thoughts?
Well, now I know why Bezos hated Trump so much, because it really makes sense to have people at home where they have to buy everything without leaving the house. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is brilliant. CVS's stock fell 8.5% as soon as this was announced. Walgreens went down 10.3%, and GoodRx went down 15%. It's a $4 trillion industry.
Wow.
$4 trillion, the thing. Are old people going to feel comfortable? I mean, what's the percentage of old people that buy pharmaceuticals? It's probably pretty high. And every time I go to CVS or a Walgreens, it seems like they like to be in there and touching it and feeling it and talking to their pharmacist. It's just going to be another example of what Amazon wants, Amazon gets. And even if they get a third of that pie, that's a lot of money. I mean, of a $4 trillion industry, it's unbelievable how strategic Amazon is and how they get what they want and how successful they are.
Perfect segue to my point. They are strategic, they are aggressive, and they are relentless. Matter of fact, Kai, pull this up. If you go to relentless.com, what comes up? Oh my God, it's Amazon. Go to relentless.com, Amazon shows up. So just to put it in mind, to put it in perspective of how aggressive and relentless Amazon is, no matter what sector. There you go. There's some proof. You go to relentless.com, Amazon is there. They ain't stopping. So if you had any questions of how big Amazon wants to get, they are the gorilla in the room, and they want to be the biggest, baddest mofo gorilla in the history of any room.
What are they going to get into next is the question. I mean, they're just looking at whatever's the biggest industry, they want to get into it. And they're doing a similar thing with Apple as well, because Amazon is what Apple is. Apple is the phone you use, but Amazon is the store you go to. And by the way, remember this. No one buys stuff on Amazon on iPhone. Let me say that one more time. You don't buy stuff on Amazon's app because Amazon doesn't sell anything on their app. You know why they don't sell anything on their app? Because they don't want to pay the 30% to Apple. Everything you ever buy from Amazon, it's from their online Amazon.com, not from their app. You cannot buy a single product on Amazon's app. Not one product. Did anybody know? Did you know this?
Explain that to me, because if I go on my app, what is it? You're saying
you cannot buy, and it'll take you straight to Amazon.com. You cannot buy a product on Amazon app to save the taxes. What a brilliant thing he's got. You cannot buy Amazon books. When you want to buy an Amazon book, you have to go buy Amazon book on Amazon.com Audible, and then it shows up on the Amazon app. So they've figured out a way to avoid having to pay that 30%.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to give them credit. They're geniuses.
They are relentless.
They are relentless.
How much is Bezos driving the ship as far as the strategy and the planning? Is he still the guy?
I think he is the guy, but at that point, have you guys read the book No Rules, Rules at Netflix? Have you read that book? It is a ridiculous book that is so unconventional. And I bet it's the kind of a book a boss doesn't want to give to their employees.
You mean the CEO of Netflix wrote that book?
Yes. He wrote it with a critic. He wrote it with a critic that he said, I want to bring her in. And they went and interviewed former employees who hated Netflix and loved Netflix, and they tell it all. Every story, good, bad, ugly, they tell it. And one thing you notice when Reed Hastings talks about how he manages his team is it's at a point right now where you simply pick a great team and they go out there and get the job done, and you kind of are monitoring it, and some of the bigger decisions run through you. One of his main guys that was going and picking up the shows, he is now the co-CEO. Ted Surrender is now the co-CEO. They just announced him, I think, July or something like that. He became the co-CEO of Netflix. So, you know, companies that size, Amazon, listen, you're doing $1 trillion, $2 trillion a year. When you're doing a couple trillion, when you're doing the kind of business that they're a $2 trillion company, when you're doing as much business as they're doing, you're pretty much a small country.
Yeah.
You're a country. You're no longer a business. You are a country, which means you have governors, you have senators, you have businessmen, you have a lot of different people that help run the decisions. But the big one always comes through you. So.
And what was the news? Speaking of how big and bad they want to get, there was news a few weeks ago that they're considering looking into buying CNN, something like that.
Yes, it's a brilliant move, by the way. Somebody asked me, would you buy CNN? I said, in a heartbeat, I would buy CNN. If you can get your hands on CNN, it's a brilliant move. Look what happened to Fox. Look what happened to Fox. Fox is no longer far right wing. Fox is no longer right wing. Fox is in the middle today. Fox was the first that came out with Arizona before anybody else. No. Fox News came out and said, Biden won Arizona, and Trump and all the people were pissed off saying, why are you reporting? Fox is no longer what people thought Fox was pre 2018, 2017. It's
Fox
changed.
Viewers going over to other stations.
They are.
Man.
Yeah,
I know you're a big CNN guy, but do you?
No, you're right. I mean, their viewership has gone down drastically, and I think that's a litmus test for, politically, when you get too involved and you are not flexible whatsoever in business, in politics, in media, there will be repercussions down the line, and Fox is seeing it right now.